Look, the United States military is the biggest, baddest machine on Earth. In 2026, it costs a mind-blowing $910 billion. But how did we get from angry barefoot farmers with rusty muskets to robot dog swarms and $400,000 helmets? Today, we're going from 1776 to the AI-first world of 2026. We'll talk wars, weapons, and why the government wants to pay for your college. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a wild, expensive, and very, very loud ride. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Big Flex and the Broke Beginning. Welcome to 2026. The U.S. defense budget has officially hit $910 billion. That's billion with a B. To put that in perspective, if you spent $1 million every single day since Jesus was born, you still wouldn't have spent as much as the Pentagon does in 1 year. We spend more on pew-pew machines than the next 10 countries combined. Yes, including China, Russia, and Steve's backyard militia. Sorry, Steve. But let's rewind 250 years, 1775. The budget back then, it was basically whatever George Washington had in his pockets and a few IOUs that were worth, well, nothing. At the Battle of Bunker Hill, the Americans were so broke, they were told, don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes. Why? Because gunpowder was expensive, and they only had about 9 rounds per man. The British Navy had 270 massive warships. The American Navy? We had 0. We had to hire pirates, privateers, to do the dirty work. Arg, I guess? And then there was Valley Forge, winter of 1777. 12,000 men and nearly 1/3 of them didn't have shoes. They were literally tracking the British by the blood trails in the snow. Talk about a rough Tuesday. So how did we go from no shoes and no gunpowder to lasers and nuclear subs? Well, it involved a lot of grit, a bit of luck, and a whole lot of taxes later on. But before we get to the robots, we have to talk about the time the North and South decided to have the world's deadliest family argument. Chapter 2. From Steam to Stealth. 1862. The Civil War. Naval warfare was changed forever by 2 giant floating bathtubs, the Monitor and the Virginia. They shot at each other for 4 hours, and the cannonballs just bounced off. Fast forward to World War I, trench warfare was a nightmare, so we introduced the tank. Fun fact, they call them tanks to trick spies into thinking they were just building mobile water tanks. Sneaky, right? But World War II, that's where the US turned into a production monster. We built 300,000 aircraft in 5 years. That's 1 plane every 9 minutes. Imagine your Amazon delivery being a B-17 bomber. The record for building a Liberty ship was 4 days, 15 hours, and 29 minutes. It takes me longer to decide what to eat for lunch. We were building ships faster than the enemy could sink them. Then came the Manhattan Project, a secret science experiment that cost $2 billion in 1945 money. That's about $35 billion today. The result? A weapon that changed the world and made physics terrifying. The Cold War brought us the SR-71 Blackbird. It flew so fast, over 2,000 miles per hour, that its tactic to avoid missiles was just to outrun them. Missile coming? Just step on the gas, Gary. In the 80s, we got the F-111 Nighthawk, the first stealth fighter. It cost $6.6 billion to develop. It looked like a crumpled piece of paper, but to a radar, it looked like a small bird. By the time we hit the 90s, we had GPS, originally a military tool to make sure we didn't get lost in the desert. Now, it's the reason you can find the nearest Taco Bell at 2 a.m. Chapter 3. The Recruiter's Lies and the MRE Mystery. So, why join? For the glory? For the flag? Maybe, but mostly because college in America costs $250,000, and the Army says, hey, we'll pay for that. In 2026, the signing bonus hit an all-time high of $50,000. That's enough to buy a Tesla, or if you're a 19-year-old soldier, a used Dodge Charger with 24% interest. First stop, boot camp, where you learn that you've been breathing, walking, and folding socks wrong for 18 years. If you blink, 50 push-ups. If you breathe, 50 push-ups. The shark attack. It's when 3 drill sergeants scream at you from 2 inches away. It's a classic American tradition, right up there with apple pie and, well, screaming. Then there's the healthcare. TRICARE. In the civilian world, a broken arm costs a kidney. In the military, it's free. The catch, you have to stay in for 20 years. And we have to talk about the MRE, 1,200 calories of mystery in a brown bag. It comes with a heater that says, lean against a rock or something. That's the official Pentagon instruction. A rock or something. And the menu number 4, country omelet. Legend says it was banned by the Geneva Convention for being too disgusting. It looks like a yellow sponge and tastes like, well, sadness. But hey, it comes with Skittles, unless you get the Charms candies. Pro tip, don't eat the Charms. Soldiers believe they cause bad luck, like getting hit by a tank kind of bad luck. Chapter 4, the AI First Warrior of 2026. Welcome to 2026. Forget everything you knew about soldiers. On January 9th, the Department of War officially announced an AI-first agenda. We're not just using computers, we're letting them take the wheel. Wartime speed, baby. The budget for 2026? A staggering $839 billion, with almost $10 billion just for autonomous systems. That's a lot of money to make sure robots don't get blue screens in the middle of a desert. Ever heard of Project Replicator? The goal is to field thousands of low-cost drones in just 18 months. We're talking swarms, clouds of robots so thick you'll need a giant digital fly swatter. And for the infantry, meet the Eagle Eye helmet. It's not just a helmet, it's a teammate. It has digital night vision, 3D mission planning, and can track your friends through walls. No more, "Where are you guys?" on the radio. Then there's SkyFoundry. The Army's goal is to build 10,000 drones a month by the end of this year. That's faster than most people can build a Lego set. It's mass production on steroids. Don't forget the Golden Dome, a massive AI-powered shield that connects satellites, ships, and ground sensors into one giant no-fly zone for anyone we don't like. It's basically a global do not disturb sign. Even the F-35 is getting an upgrade. Project Overwatch just flight tested an AI that identifies targets faster than the pilot can blink. The pilot is now basically a manager for a very expensive, very fast flying computer. So is it the end of human soldiers? Not quite. But in 2026, if you're fighting the US military, you're not just fighting a person, you're fighting an entire network. Stay smart, stay decentralized, and maybe don't make the robots angry.